The other thing that's useful in science is a technique, I think it's called the learning cycle, which puts everything in reverse. So rather than learn about it in lecture and then go into lab and then look at the things you've just discovered, it's a technique I've tried in a number of classes, which I want to try more. And so, for instance, actually I did try it in STLHE a couple of times out in Calgary, and I still get people running across and say, these things you did were for real. I do some biological work on a group called the tardigrades, small invertebrate group. And I was asked by one of my colleagues in an invertebrate biology class to come along and talk about this group. And I said, fine. And I thought about it, and I said, no, I'm not going to come along and talk. I'm going to try something new, is that all right? And they said, yeah. So what are you going to do? And I said, what I'm going to do is this. So I went along to the class and I said, you know what I'm here for, but I'm not going to tell you anything about them. I then showed them, I know a visual presenter, 8 of these organisms with their drawing of their shape, internal contents, size, and so on. And I said, on the basis of what you see on those diagrams, I want you to tell me what the characteristics of this particular phylum are. So I divided them into groups, 3 or 4 again, because it's fixed seating. And I said, I want you to think about this, and then I'll go around afterwards. So we gave them about 6 or 7 minutes again. And then, as I went around with the portable microphone, I got the instructor, for who I was the guest lecturer, to go by the board, and as I'd say, now, somebody over here got one characteristic. And they say, okay, microscopic size. So get them to write that on the board. What do you think and then we go through, so they'd end up with a whole lot of things. Now, sometimes the things will be controversial. Well, what do you think about that? Do you think that's correct? And somebody says, no, that's not the head, that's the tail end, or no, it's multicellular, it's unicellular. And after about 15 minutes, you have not only had the opportunity to find out all about this phylum, but the important thing is they did it themselves. Now, they, at this point in time, don't know enough about the group to know what the actual names of the parts are. So the first phase is, I think it's called discovery, where they discover as much as they can. The next one is you giving the factual orientation, say, well, those things you call so-and-so are really so-and-so, only just some explanation about them. The next stage is meant to be further exploration. And so what I do is I bring them in a series of really weird members of this group, which don't necessarily look like them at all, and also throw in other organisms that are similar. And then I say to them, okay, now on the basis of what you've discovered about this group in the earlier one, now I want you to decide, and I'll give each group maybe different ones, so everyone's not doing the same work. On the basis of what you know, are these tardigrades or are they not?